All right. Welcome to the December 10th meeting for the Historic Preservation Commission. We will start with approval of the meeting minutes. Everyone have a chance to look at those?
Online, yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the meeting minutes are approved as written. We have no public hearings. Is there anybody online? There isn't, you said?
It's just
Okay,
us.
so no public hearings, no visitor comments since there's no visitors. And we have one demolition application at 3185 South Brentwood Boulevard. And it's a tile library.
Which
Yeah.
has been there forever, right?
Yeah.
I think that guy finally retired, didn't he? That owned it.
Yeah.
I remember we started with the houses along there. It's been a little while since our approval, but when I went by Sunday, the house is now boarded up and the refrigerator and the stove are out on the curb. And I thought, well, they're moving along, you know.
Maybe they called, I hope they called trash pickup. But
That somebody will pick them up, you know, that metal.
Anybody know the history of that block? Like if you look on those parcels, it looks like there was similar houses along. They're all about the same size, very large for the size of the house.
Mhm.
I don't know how long ago the rest of them were demolished, but it looks like the last one standing.
Yeah, it
was probably
certainly does.
block there.
Of those houses, I would agree. And in that sense, to me, it has completely lost all context as far as historic preservation wise, whether or not it's not necessarily any sort of unusual example. It's kind of a nice little house.
didn't I read that it was,
So it's unfortunate, but I don't know, I guess that's what I was thinking. It's not even like it's in poor shape, it's just
This is one
gonna
where
do something else.
I wonder why it's still there, if all the other ones were tore down, and I didn't have time to do a search on newspapers, ancestry, and that kind of stuff yet to see if there's anything going on. That with why that house or with the history of the house is.
Yeah, I did not either. I
Still people.
It could be that it was remaining because there was a viable business in there
Yeah.
where the others,
Definitely,
not so much.
right,
Yeah.
whereas everything was rezoned and.
Somebody's gotta want it to, you know, the land, otherwise it's.
right.
what is a PC zone district?
Plan
commercial.
Okay.
Well, Joe, you said in your memo that recommends further analysis. Tell us more about that.
Candidly, it's because of my lack of expertise in doing the research. So, I mean, I did research. It's not an at-risk property listed in our database. It's not on the National Historic Registry. And there's no other mention of it in our archives as far as comments or significant remarks. So, I did my best to make sure that there wasn't any historic significance, but I was hoping that maybe one of you may be able to add further expertise. That's why I recommend that you guys look into it. There also doesn't appear to be a real great sense of urgency on this one because obviously it was built just to tear down. And so I think we probably have a little bit of time if we wanted to explore it further. That's the sense I got from the applicant. So,
We're not starting construction in the winter, so.
no. And I mean, I'm sure
Also
that,
that aspect to that, because I assume they're gonna develop that block.
yes, and I'm sure that they would like you to swiftly dismiss it, but it's up, whatever the board decides, basically.
Is this one list of all these websites, is that your research on it or sites that, what is this with, that has the Zillow listing and the,
That was submitted by the applicant.
Oh, it
and,
was?
Yeah, I think it's in the packet here as well.
yeah,
Looks like a Google search maybe.
You know,
yeah.
Of the property.
Right. And then, of course, the previous tax assessments going back a number of years.
Which I've never understood why we need that here, but
Yeah.
how that affects our historic
I
preservation.
guess maybe the appraisal or something might tell you something. I mean, it says there's multiple violations in every room, but I don't know how serious they
Well,
are.
that's just it. I thought that inspection was surprisingly light of
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, it
It's
really
just, oh,
was.
somebody wants to demolish it, so, we,
It could
you
be
know,
like
one of our
outlet.
criteria is
Yeah.
structural soundness and the soundness and the suitability for rehabilitation, but when we really don't have any detailed information other than multiple violations in every room, where is it just like there needs to be a GFI by the sink, or is it something that's, dangerous structurally or something? So we really don't have any of that information. And,
Yeah, I looked at it as this house is fine. It's perfectly serviceable building because someone was using it, completely using it, and it's not that difficult to get a building that it's occupied and so forth back into meet code if you add an outlet here or there. But then it just comes down to what can we find out? Does this building have any history that would give us that little extra bump? Because while it's a nice little house to me, it's architecturally not like gonna push itself up there that far. So all by itself, it's not an unusual house either. It's actually a very common house, so bungalow style, which is nice. So, we would need to find out some other kind of history about it.
one of the things on the Google search here, it says WG North Webster Walk 2017. I'm wondering if it was on the wall.
I looked at that and I couldn't, I was going as fast as I could, literally did about 15 minutes ago.
Oh.
But I couldn't find that address in the walk. And I
Okay.
think maybe it just had like the number and the street where I couldn't find the address in there. I did want to ask, like, in 1925, if Brentwood, or if it was Kirkham.
It might be because I think if there were some streets in that area that changed names. And it might be listed under another address.
To find that out, what it was originally.
That's right.
Because we were, when
We did that before.
Yeah, in some other property, we found information under what the previous road name was.
Yeah. That's right.
It was on the tour. There's apparently I don't know if this is a video or somebody. Dr. Reynolds and Dr. Rasson's office.
3185 South Brentwood Boulevard. Dr. Reynolds and Dr. Roussan's office. In the 1920s, Dr. A. Leroy Reynolds moved to this location on what was originally called Shady Avenue. His family lived upstairs and his practice was in the basement. In the 1940s, Dr. Thomas Roussan took over the office. He made house calls and delivered babies in the home until he gained permission to work in some of the hospitals. He later moved his business into a separate office farther north on Brentwood Boulevard. Dr. Eric Donnelly lived and had his office next door, and Dr. Fraser Alexander had an office just down the street at Shady and Ravine in the 1940s.
End of story.
So,
So
built as a doctor's office?
I guess.
Or built by-
Or they
Well,
moved in there.
built as a home
Yeah, and he
Because-
used it as,
and used it as a office.
Yeah, the office was in the basement.
Is
Yeah.
any
So,
doctors? over there?
Perhaps he was living on he and his family were living on the main level and the practice was in
In the
the
basement,
basement.
which would have been common.
Yeah,
If you look at the picture, it looks like could have been an
straight
entrance.
for the
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, the basement, the side door here?
Yeah, because it looks like that, that the roof over that side basement door looks like it's been there for a while. So, yeah.
Definitely. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And so was that just a?
That was part of the tour.
The
There was a
Northwestern
tour and
Walk.
I guess you could play this on your phone while you did the tour and learn about these properties. So,
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe we want to find out what the violations are and how serious they are. Or maybe we could look a little more at what the history of the house was. If there was anybody famous delivered in that house?
Right, yeah.
It seems like it's worth taking a deeper dive to
It
me.
does, to me too. We don't really have much information at all.
Yeah, it's,
So to just discount it completely seems unfortunate.
And there's no rush.
And yeah, and I can't believe that they couldn't wait 1 month.
Right.
They're not doing
It's
anything this
Christmas,
month,
yeah.
yeah, it's just not gonna happen, so.
yeah, it is interesting to know that there was another medical practice on
Yeah,
that same
that's
block in a house.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I guess all the tiles still in there.
Right, I like that picture.
I was thinking, can we use any of this if they're record? Let's go
Well,
back.
and often the pictures, I feel as though, the people go in there and sort of throw garbage in there just to
Yeah.
make sure it looks bad. They didn't make any effort to make it look bad at all.
No.
Yeah, or they do something, they'll do something like.
I like the towels hanging and the blue towels hanging and the.
They'll do something like take a picture of an air vent that needs to be wiped down. And
Right.
oh, look, it's structurally unsound. Yes.
Well,
So
we
we
have
don't
two houses
see
like
any of
that.
that.
I didn't notice. That's a shower head, but there doesn't seem to be a bathtub or anything.
Well, there's a plant.
There's a plant.
It looks like the tile might be sloped
It
to the
definitely
drain and the
does.
plant is over the
It's
drain.
accessible
perhaps.
shower.
Yeah. Big rolling shower.
It's at the window getting.
Glass block.
Yeah.
Not that it's part of our purview or anything, but I was just looking at the whole block, except for that house, everything else along that stretch between Thornton and that building that is a gas station, not the gas station, but a
Yeah,
childcare
commercial
center,
building.
yeah, is owned by another outfit called MCO Investments
What did
LLC.
they get?
Every other property except the one that Honor owns is owned by this MCO. Again, it's not part of our purview, but.
Interesting.
Honor,
It's
yeah.
doesn't all the other-
This whole lawyers down
Yes,
there?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they've done a lot of, they've been doing a lot of
They just
acquisition.
bought
A
the,
lot of buying.
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
yes.
the theater, but they've been doing a lot of acquisitions and demolitions in the past year.
We've done
We've
a
seen a
lot.
lot of them. We've
Yeah.
seen a lot of them
Well,
through
aren't they
here.
putting up apartments? Isn't that the plan?
Yes,
down there?
that's the same person.
That's it. Yep,
Along Brentwood, that's Honor.
yep, they're.
So he's gotta buy all those others, unless
I
he's
know at
MCO.
one point, didn't they, apply to tear down that house behind their office to use as a parking lot, and the house is still there? So I guess they were denied that, huh?
Well, that's why I thought it was interesting when I went by the other day, that I thought, finally, these houses, there's some action going on, that they're boarded up and the stuff's getting out of there, and I thought, next time I go by, it'll probably be gone.
Well, this house is right on, Maple,
That's right, okay,
behind their office there.
Yeah, I think that one must have been denied.
Yeah, because it's
There's
still
no
there.
reason to.
yeah, or somebody.
But they own it. They must use it as like, what do you call it? Another,
An annex.
yeah, an annex. That's the word I was looking for.
I think with this is the subject property of our discussion this evening. It might be worth some additional look, especially with the Shady Avenue information
Yeah.
Mhm.
that we have. We can search under that.
Yes.
And then also with the doctors' names that Sue found for us.
Yes.
And then, if there's any additional information about the condition of it, that could be information for us to consider.
I just love the name, Shady.
All right, I move we table this for the next meeting.
Well, or maybe
While we
look
Yeah.
into it in the
While we look
interim.
into it.
Yeah.
And so do we want to organize ourselves a little bit or just see what anybody, because we don't really have much of a starting place, we have a couple names, but it's gonna be everybody could do it in a sense, or anybody who wants to, but we do need to make sure somebody does.
Yeah, or we can, just kind of maybe think about logical assignments.
Uh-huh.
And then, I guess one of the things that we've kind of been swimming upstream against is our inability to share information in between meetings. Like if Brian was looking up something and he found something significant, maybe there would be other threads of possible avenues that he might not have time to research, but couldn't get in contact with all of us because of our restrictions about not talking to each other between meetings.
But that's not, but you know, that meeting we went to, I would say that that's not necessarily true. You would be able to share a website. And you're not making, as long as you're not making decisions,
Decisions. Yeah.
is what they had said, told what the.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah,
So-
and then we're not
We're not
forming
making any
a
decision.
formal subcommittee either.
No,
So-
we would just be saying,
Look what I
I
found.
found this.
I
Yeah.
looked here and found this. I looked here and found, you know, I mean, as long as we keep it that way, it's not like. I propose, you know, anything like that. You don't want to say anything like that, but just what I found. Matter of fact.
No judgment.
Intention.
And I wonder, Hillary, if you could find anything or ask Steve to find anything in the archives?
We could, I'm going away on Friday, so I could try to hopefully remember, I'll make a note to ask him about it. Oh, I can look it up too when I'm there.
That would be great.
Yeah, I'm willing to do some web searches. I mean.
Okay.
Like property records and, I've even looked on the Missouri History website. You can search addresses on that.
Is there anything at Hawkins House that we can?
That's what I asked.
That what
Hillary
that's
to
what
do.
you-
Yeah,
Oh,
I
great.
volunteer there on Friday.
Okay. Oh,
Got
great.
tons of- Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I know, that's it.
What about like St. Louis County Historic Building Inventory? Do you think that might be worth looking at that?
Might be.
Might be a long shot, but you know,
Yeah.
if we looked under the Shady Avenue or then
Right.
also the, you know, the current
Names.
address and the names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to do that?
sure.
Okay, all right.
the other possibility is the Kate Moody collection at the library.
Yeah,
I've never really searched it, but everybody
Oh my
says it's a real
gosh.
treasure trove.
it's amazing. Yeah, you want to talk about a rabbit hole to go down for an
Oh,
afternoon.
oh, wow.
Yeah, I was doing some work on my own house research. And it's amazing what's in there.
I'll do that.
You'll do
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
You'll do Kate
library.
Moody?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do what, just general, these resources,
You have
plus a
access to, like,
historical society.
Newspapers.com and that kind of.
Yeah.
No, but you can get it at the library.
Yeah,
For free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. Also, does anyone have ancestry.com?
I have Ancestry.
That's a good one too.
And
Yeah.
you can also get Ancestry
Yeah,
for free
at
at the
the-
library. If
Yeah,
you
the
have a
library has all
card.
of
Yeah.
those.
You have,
Now I turned that off.
you have to
Sorry.
use, you have to use their computers and have a library card, but you can do Ancestry for free and newspapers.com for free.
So I can try to do that. But it sounds, if Kate Moody, I've never seen this one. I don't know how much of a deep dive that is. But if it goes deep,
it's-
deep.
It's
I'll do that
amazing. She was the librarian, the head reference librarian at the city library for 40 years and had a personal collection of stuff that's just been recently digitized by the state of Missouri. And there's amazing amounts of arcane information in there that's, well, anyway, you like that kind of thing. It's really, it can be really fun.
I'll try to do all that. at the
Yeah.
library.
It's right on the front page of the library homepage.
Yeah.
It's easy to find.
But you have to do that in person.
No,
No, you
that
can do
was-
it
Kate Moody you can do
Oh,
from home.
Kate
Kate Moody's
Oh, okay.
free
Well,
and you
that's
can do it from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I'll do a little bit of online looking where else we could find stuff too.
Okay.
Do that, and then anybody finds something that you think. hey,
Share
Or might have more potential leads
Yeah.
for, you know,
First thing
Someone
I
else.
check is with Brentwood in that area, the numbers change too. When they change the name to Brentwood, they reorganize the whole thing. So we really need to identify what the number in the street was when it was built.
We might be able to do that through the names of the doctors.
or maybe.
Oh, that's right.
What
Yeah.
about the Sanborn maps? Would they have the old name? Yeah,
But they'd have the name, but they wouldn't have the address number, would they?
they would.
You could get like the tax map keys and the.
Oh, okay.
Those old Sanborn insurance maps, don't they have the exact address on them?
Okay.
I can't remember.
They might.
I haven't seen one for it. I don't, maybe they do. They've got something. They mark the properties for
Yeah,
sure,
I'm,
so
I'm pretty sure they do, because weren't they for fire insurance?
Oh, well, then they
Yeah.
must.
Yeah,
they mark the properties for
Yeah.
absolute certain,
Yeah.
somehow or another.
okay, whether it's the exact street address or if they have their own
Yeah,
nomenclature.
yeah, that's what I was
So
trying to,
before we do a deep dive, can we, I don't know that reference.
Sanborn maps. Where can we, see? I don't even know where we can see them here. Can you see them at the library?
I don't know. I haven't.
I'll
done
look
that
to see
part.
where we can, wouldn't mind knowing that, where we kind of, I've seen them at Landmarks Association downtown, but that's for all city of St. Louis. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
you have the book. That's for the cities, so,
go for the city.
yeah.
Okay, Sanborn maps. Check it out. I'll let you know what it says. I mean, I think you could start looking anyway.
Mhm.
I have jury duty tomorrow, so I won't be doing it tomorrow.
Unless they kick you out right away.
I'll for sure go do it if I can, yeah.
You can do it on your phone while you're sitting there waiting.
That's a yes, because
Well,
those
do
are
it
long
after you
days
spend too
of
much for
waiting.
lunch
Yeah.
somewhere, and then they'll
usually.
tell you to.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna research, take a good book.
Knitting or
Yeah,
something.
and those chairs are mightily uncomfortable, so you might want to bring something to sit on.
Excited.
To do your
Really
certificate.
excited.
Yeah.
The last time I was called for jury duty, my daughter's 22 now. The last time I was called, I was able to get out of it because I had a child under 5. So that was the last time, so a while ago. I know.
Try
I'm
that.
thinking that. If they want me to come back, I have a young dog.
Bring the dog with you, they'll probably
Right.
kick you out. My emotional support dog.
Yeah, they'd be like, this puppy is your.
This hot mess of a.
Yeah, it's cute. No, anyway, so, yeah, so I will take a minute to do it, but I will look at Sanborn maps. That would be good. So,
And then if, that if we come up with that old Shady Avenue address, that might be a good segue into, never mind, the tax records are by name. So we would have to like maybe start with the name of the dentist for the tax. records.
Well,
yeah.
he was a dentist. Thought he was a
Doctor.
Doctor, okay.
Um,
Well, maybe it was the
OBGYN
dentist
or
or one of those.
Well, he was a general doctor at those
Oh,
days.
yeah.
They just did it.
all.
Right.
They did it all. Soups to nuts.
It makes me think
Scoops and-
my husband's dad was a doctor long ago like that, and, did all kinds of things in their house. Like they had an entrance there. He had another office in town, but some people brought their eggs for the family and got their medical attention. And
Oh, yeah.
they went.
My family doctor was that way when I was a kid, and he even had his own x-ray machine. I got my ankle x-rayed in his office, in his house. Yeah.
Fancy.
There's several houses around town that have that little side
Side
entrance
entrance.
for a doctor or whatever the business that they have.
Yeah, my husband always says he thought when he was young, he thought of meet some man died out there on the porch. His dad was out there giving him CPR, but yeah, I just felt like, oh my lord, who would want that? Just stay home. Well, so. Well, anyway, we will look up these things. That sounds pretty good. If we're gonna get something, or a lead or something.
excited.
We should get it by that. Okay. Anything else for that? Anyone think?
Need a motion for it or? it's done?
I did move that we table
Yeah.
it
So
while we do our research.
So that's what I was thinking. So now
Second.
we'll go with that. And anyone want a second? Second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, that one is tabled until the next meeting.
Go to jury duty.
Take
money to park.
Okay, so moving on to our old business, which is the conservation districts. So,
I think we left it that we were going to start the subcommittee meetings in January, did we not?
Yeah,
yeah,
I have a note to make contact with you.
After the
volunteers.
Okay.
It's sort of the middle of January, just after everything's done.
all right. So that's our report on that for this month. It's still mid-January. And anything else then? I guess Karen's not here. Any report from this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the one thing that I think you all want, have an update for the Lakota group, comprehensive plan. There is a survey going on right now. If you have not had an opportunity, please take it. I think it's gonna run into next month, January. As my last meeting with the code group before last, we had 276 responses. We are almost on par with the initial survey, so this is really good. So again, we encourage you all, if you haven't taken the survey, please take it, spread the word, because as many people as we can get their input, it really will help us to formulate our comprehensive plan, showing that we are representing the members of the community.
I posted something on Facebook in the community page. It got like no attention at all. Then I think the city posted something on the community page, and that seemed to get a little more attention. So maybe another social media post or something would get people to.
And she had you all have met Tiara. Yes, our public affairs person. So she has a formula
Okay.
for, because, I mean, you guys know, you see it too much, you get numb.
Right.
It's like, you don't see it anymore. So she does have a formula. It's also on our, webpage. I'm sorry, it's been a long day, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's on there. And so we will be doing it again, because the other thing is we're gearing up for another listening session.
Oh,
And I think that's going to probably be, I think we're talking in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Is there any update on a new planning director?
Almost. I made an offer to somebody, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. So yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's almost. So he gave me till tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's an update.
Oh, and also we have a new planner that will be starting on the 16th, 19th, 18th. And he is coming to us from the city of Ferguson. He has an excellent background. And so, it's been a lot of changes happening in planning. We're building a team. We lost Robert, but we're still trying to, as I say, deepen our bench and strengthen our team. So I'm really excited about you coming over.
Is this month?
Yes, sir. It's next week.
All right. Anything else? All right, then I guess we'll adjourn the meeting. I can just adjourn. We don't have to move to that. To move in. Okay, we have a move to adjourn. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think that's
Opposed?
a record. 30-minute meeting.
The meeting is adjourned.
I swear that Colton's got mine.